Hello from the Dockman Valley in Colorado. I'm Peter Zion. This is part 3 of what to expect from coronavirus in the year to come. Well, we've already talked about the best case scenario, and we've already talked about the not so best case scenario, so I think it is worth taking a broader, more globalized view here. 3 things to keep in mind. First of all, demographics are kind of a core thing of what I do, and we have an aging process that's going on around the planet. Large numbers of people, really the majority of some countries, are aging towards mass retirement at an incredibly quick pace. The problem is financial, economic, and trade. You see, when you age, you start saving more money for the future, but you stop consuming. And when you're just on the very verge of retirement, you save everything that you can, and you probably spend next to nothing. Well, the baby boomers of the world are in that category as a whole. And in the calendar year 2022, the majority of the world's baby boomer cadre will have moved into mass retirement. And so instead of being providers of finance and goods, they'll simply be consuming financial resources and basically bleeding their governments out. That's problem 1. Problem 2 is that countries in many ways are a lot like people. Their population structure changes over time. And right now, we have an unprecedented number of countries in both number and bulk that are nearing kind of that magical retirement moment. Japan, Korea, Canada, Germany, Italy, China. It's a pretty hefty list, which means that they were looking to age out over the course of the next 2 to 5 years. And what coronavirus has done is for the people, it's robbed them of the last chances to generate income. And for the countries, it's robbed them the ability to transition to whatever happens to be next. Whatever your economic model is going to be after being export-led, you take some time to get there. It's not going to be free. And these countries have lost that buffer. So most of them, all of them, are never going to economically recover to where they were in 2019. But it's the third piece that has me most worried. Just as there are countries that are nearing mass retirement, there are still significant countries that are mass consumption-based. France, Australia, the United States, Brazil, Mexico, India. These are the engines of the world. Their consuming is what allows those older export-led economies to exist in the form that they are. Well, with the notable exception of Australia, every single one of the major consumption-led economies is mired in coronavirus infections. And they are not going to recover to normal consumption this year, or next year, or maybe the year after. Which means that if you are an export-led system, there's nowhere to go. There's no one to sell to. And by the time we do get 2-3 years out, those consumption-led economies, for political reasons, for security reasons, for health reasons, will have brought most of their production needs in-house to be done at home, rather than relying upon other countries that are less secure, that are less stable, to provide the goods for them. This is nothing less than the end of the world that we know. We are already past the point of no return. It's just a question as to what speed and order the countries start dropping off the map in. Well, hopefully next time I'll have some cheerier things to talk about. Until then,